And then ultimately, you've explained you've revoked that separation agreement, correct?
Action relevance.
I think it's relevant. Ms. Kutz?
Yes, there was a line in it that said I could revoke up to 7 days.
Okay. And upon notifying Lumen of the revocation, did Lumen reach out to you?
What do you mean?
Did they, after the revocation of the separation agreement, was there any further communication between you and Lumen?
They sent me a lengthy package of paperwork and told me I should report to Lumen on a certain date.
Okay. Does the 16th of August sound right to you as to when they asked you to report to Lumen?
Yes.
Okay. And did you report to Lumen on the 16th of August?
No.
Okay. So you revoked the separation agreement, but you didn't report. Why was the reason you didn't show up on the 16th of August?
I didn't feel comfortable doing that because I wasn't getting my job back.
How do you know that?
Because they said I would never return to SPI.
Who told you that?
I'm sorry?
Who told you that?
They told me that at Lumen headquarters.
Do you remember who? Which person told you that?
No, I do not remember which one said it.
Okay. But Lumen is a network of schools, correct?
Yes.
And Lumen has a network office
Yes.
where administration takes place, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Even if somebody told you you wouldn't return to SPI, did you have an understanding as to whether there would be another position that was possibly available to you on the 16th of August?
No.
You didn't have an understanding, uh, or you expected there was no position?
I had no idea what to expect because they didn't communicate with me at all.
Did they send you an email asking you to report on the 16th?
Yes.
Okay. Could we go to Lumen Exhibit 17?
That's R17, and what's the page number?
It's Lumen 118.
Would this be Exhibit 28?
Well, let's take a look. Yes, Exhibit 28.
1 moment. All right, I do have it. Can we read it into the record?
Sure. So this is an email exchange. On Lumen 1, the second page of trial exhibit 28 is for purposes of just efficiency. I'll kind of recite the contents, and Mr. Yerk, if you think any clarification is in order, let me know. But an August 10th revocation by Ms. Kutz of the agreement she entered into with Lumen, the separation agreement. Email follows on page 118 from Ms. Brust. Hi, Ellen. Please give me a call to discuss next steps. So that's email of August 11th. No response from Ms. Kutz on August 12th. Another email from Ms. Brust to Ms. Kutz. Good morning, Ellen. I understand that you have revoked the separation agreement that you signed on August 6, 2021. Based on the medical documentation you submitted on July 30, 2021, you are scheduled to return to work on Monday, August 16, 2021. It goes on, your scheduled start time on August 16, 2021 is 9 a.m. Your work location is at the Lumen Network office, and it goes on. The bottom question says, please feel free to call me if you have any questions or would like to discuss further, and a phone number is provided. You testified a few moments ago that they didn't provide you any information.
Now I'm going to object, Dave. I think you left out probably the three most important sentences of that email.
Okay.
So please read the sentences after Wisconsin.
Okay. You are not to report to St. Peter Emmanuel Lutheran School. You will also need to bring a copy of your driver's license with you or make a copy in the office. This is needed for the financial accounts. Adequate, counsel?
Adequate.
Okay. Where I was going to ask is, I think what inspired me to find this exhibit and mark it is you said that and I'm not going to get this exactly right because time has passed, but you said something to the effect of they hadn't provided you information as to what would occur or what would, on the 16th. But did you, right, please, in response, please feel free to call me if you have any questions. Did you respond to Ms. Brust with a request for further information?
No.
Why not?
It's very difficult to deal with Miss Bruss.
Okay. So, I mean, is it your testimony at this point you voluntarily decided not to engage further regarding your employment with Lumen?
Objection. I think that misstates her testimony.
Okay, is that accurate?
Well, yeah, he's asking the question. So, Ms. Kutz,
I didn't know what to do at that point.
Okay. You recall testifying in your deposition that on the day of revocation, you'd already made the decision to file suit against Lumen?
Can you repeat that, please?
Ms. Court Reporter, could you repeat it back?
Sure. The question was, do you recall testifying in your deposition that on the day of revocation, you'd already made the decision to file suit against Lumen?
No, I do not.
Sitting here today, do you recall that was in fact the decision you made on the day of revocation, or at least by that time?
No,
That wasn't your decision at that time.
I don't remember. At that time, I was really sick.
I think I need a 5-minute break or so.
Okay, let's take a break and come back at 4:45.
Okay.
Okay, we're back on the record, and we're resuming cross-examination of Ms. Kutz and Attorney Stoffel.
Yes. Could we turn to Lumen Exhibit 19, which I think would be Exhibit 29 for the trial?
Do we have another descriptor for it?
It's Lumen 124. and 125.
Correct.
And this will be Exhibit 29.
Okay, I guess I'll read it. Ms. Kutz, Trial Exhibit 29 is another branch off of the email exchange we were just looking at. I'll just start with the kind of the branch off, which is at the top of Lumen 1, Bates label Lumen 124. It's an email of Ms. Brust to Ms. Kutz that reads, and I'll just to avoid any objections, I'll just read it in its entirety. Hi, Ellen. You were scheduled to return to work today at 9 a.m. Not only did you not report to work, but I did not hear from you. I also left you a voicemail this morning and did not hear back from you. Please give me a call today before 4 p.m. at, and then I'll just skip over the phone number, but it's written there. So please give me a call today before 4 p.m. at the phone number, quote, to discuss your return to work. Thank you, C, followed by signature block for Carrie Brust. Do you recall receiving that email?
Yes.
Okay. Did you, do you understand what she said to be accurate, that you didn't report to work on the 16th?
Yes.
And that you did not reach out to her before the 16th? Well, let's put it this way. Between the time of your revocation and the time of this email, you hadn't been in touch with Ms. Brust. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay. And is it accurate that she left you a voicemail that morning?
Yes.
Okay. And then in response to her her final sentence, please give me a call today to discuss. Did you call?
No,
Okay. Were you ever in communication with Ms. Brust or anybody at Lumen again after this?
no,
Okay. At any point in time, did you request, well, let's put it this way. I mean, I'm going to ask you about accommodations. We discussed coming back from your first leave in April, and I think we've covered that. So now, starting from July 16th, did you request accommodations of anybody at Lumen related to the headaches you were experiencing?
no. I thought I was fired.
Okay. And this has been, I just want to make sure we've got the details. I'm just making sure we've covered everything. The personal charges on the credit card, you testified that those were made on your vacation in Seattle, correct?
Correct.
And one was for securing a rental car, is that right?
Correct.
And one was for tolls incurred while traveling in that rental car, correct?
Correct.
And one was for, I think we learned in your deposition, a trip to Costco for food while you were on vacation, right?
Correct.
Okay. Ms. Kutz, did you suffer a major stroke in November 2022?
Yes.
Okay, and do you have any understanding that after November 2022, you had any ability to be employed? Well, I'll just leave it at that. In any meaningful way?
I'm paralyzed on my left side,
Okay.
and I still have the headache.
You still have the headaches.
I'm gonna object to questioning. I think damages we already decided can be dealt with through briefing, and I don't think this is in dispute.
Well, I don't know. For clarity, I don't know if we agree to be handled through briefing, but I'll admit I judge as a kind of a proffer of evidence. There's testimony that this was laid out. I don't know if you reviewed the summary judgment brief that was submitted that essentially supports the notion Ms. Kutz headaches continued and she wouldn't have been able to come back to work anyway. If this could be couched as a question of damages, it could be couched as a question of liability, because if there are zero damages, there can be no liability.
That's not true. That's certainly not the Wisconsin law. So, absolutely not. And there's a case that Rod Point that says even if there are no damages, a person has a right for determination of whether discrimination occurred.
Okay. Well, sure. Then I guess I could reserve this line of questioning for the second part of a bifurcated proceeding if necessary.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe at the end, I'd just like to flip through my notes here and make sure. Okay, those are my questions this time, subject to follow up on any redirect.
And Attorney Yerk, do you have any redirect for your client?
Just a few, and I'll try to be as fast as I can here and keep it limited. On August 6th, were you still under work restrictions?
Yes,
And at this point, had you told Ms. Bruss about your work restrictions?
yes,
And at this point, did you, sorry, strike that. Did Ms. Brust ever ask if you were medically well enough to report to work on August 6th?
no,
Did Ms. Brust ever ask if you were medically well enough to respond to her emails between August 6th and August 16th?
no,
Were you medically well enough to report to work on August 16th?
no,
Did you inform SPI and Lumen that your initial work restrictions may last longer than 2 weeks?
yes,
After that August 6th meeting, did you understand that you were fired, or did you understand that you had quit?
that I was fired.
At that August 6th meeting, were you offered any option to remain in your job?
No,
We heard an email from Carrie Brust was read into the record. Did that email say that you were to return to your old job?
no,
Do you remember a line of questioning about a handbook and whether or not you actually in a handbook?
Yes.
And do you remember being questioned about a form that you signed acknowledging that you received a handbook?
Yes.
Do you remember reading Miss Doherty's notes about a meeting with you in June of 2021 where you complained about not receiving a handbook?
Yes.
Is there, sorry, strike that. You testified about some reasons that were given for your termination at the August 6th meeting. You remember that testimony?
Yes.
And were those reasons truthful?
Objection. Lack of foundation.
Well, yeah, I mean, truthful is probably not the right word to use. I mean, perhaps accurate, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. So the reasons they offered you that you were being fired, were those accurate? Did you do the things they were accusing you of doing?
No.
You testified about some difficulties you had with Lumen and that transition. Was there any indication that those difficulties were rising to the level that your job was in jeopardy prior to that August, I guess, 4th meeting at your home when you asked whether your job was in jeopardy? Maybe I can ask that an easier way. Were you ever given any sort of discipline in any way prior to your termination?
No.
Were you ever told any conversation you had with your boss was a warning or in any way disciplinary? One moment.
Sorry, Miss Ellen, I have to check your blood sugar before dinner.
You have to wait. I'm sorry. I'm on court.
Sorry, okay, we can be back.
Can you repeat that, Nick?
Yeah, was there a question in front of Ellen or did she answer the question?
There was a question. Did you want me to read it back?
That would be fantastic.
Question was, were you ever told any conversation you had with your boss was a warning or in any way disciplinary?
No.
You testified about some difficulties you were encountering getting a doctor's note from your doctor. Do you remember that line of testimony?
Yes.
And were you having difficulties getting a doctor's note from Dr. Menser? Or your other doctor,
Yeah.
Dr. Varghese? And I'm gonna say I don't know how to say that name either.
Yeah. Yes, from Dr. Varghese.
Was Dr. Varghese the doctor that was more directly involved in the issue you were undergoing, let's say after July 16th?
Yeah, he was the headache doctor.
Why did you ask Dr. Menser for the note?
Because he's my main doctor.
All right, that's all I have.
All right. And Attorney Stoffel, any recross for the witness?
Yes. Ms. Kutz, just now you were questioned about whether you understood you were still under medical restriction as of August 16th, and you responded to your understanding you were. Is that accurate?
Objection, I think that misstates her testimony. She said she was medically unable to work.
Okay, sure. Did you send, if that's the case, if you understood yourself to be medically unable to work as of the 16th, between revocation of the separation agreement and the 16th, did you inform anybody at Lumen of that understanding?
No.
Between revocation and the 16th of August, did you send any updated doctor's notes or medical information? I mean, like clinical medical records or produced by a healthcare provider to Lumen?
To Lumen?
Sorry, I can rephrase it. That I got a little cluttered in the middle of the question. Between the time of the revocation of the separation agreement and the 16th of August, did you provide any doctor's notes to Lumen?
No.
Did you provide any medical records to Lumen?
No.
Did you provide any my charts to Lumen?
No.
Okay. I don't understand. Well, let me put it this way. You just testified that the things they told you at the August 6th meeting weren't accurate. Did you just testify to that?
Which part?
Well, that's exactly what I'd like to know. That's what I don't understand from your testimony. First, you were asked if those things were truthful, and then they're accurate. What was inaccurate about what they told you?
Who?
What was any what? Let me put it this way: what do you understand to be inaccurate about what was told to you on August 6th by the members of the Lumen Network?
I'm not understanding your question.
Was okay, so you met with Mr. Laring, or as you know him, Mr. Lundgren, Ms. Brust, and Ms. Hogard, correct?
Yes.
Was anything they told you that at that August 6th meeting inaccurate?
Ms. Kutz, did you hear the question?
I did.
Okay. Ms. Kutz, perhaps if you could recall what was discussed with you at the August 16th meeting, and then render your opinion as to their accuracy or inaccuracy.
There was no August 16th meeting.
I'm sorry, August 6th. I might have misspoke there.
Okay. They brought up the credit card and my behavior. They asked me to resign. And I filled out the form, and the form said I could rescind it and take it to an attorney. And it said I could revocate it, and that's what I did because it said I could.
Okay. Was it accurate, Ms. Kutz, that you put charges on the Sparks business card while you were on vacation in Seattle, Washington?
Yes, it is true.
Is it accurate that those were for personal expenses?
Yes.
Is it accurate that there, the items on that was? Is it accurate that there were monies left in your desk that were undeposited as of June 30th, 2021?
Yes.
Because you were asked about it, I'd like to go back to the document, Trial Exhibit 1, the principal's notes at Lumen, tab 25.
All right, can we read it into the record? If you're gonna ask her about it.
Sure. Ms. Kutz, you were asked about your recollection as to what Ms. Doherty wrote in her notes. And I'll read from the middle of the paragraph headed June 11th, 2021. And the quote is commented in, just for context, I'll read from the beginning. Second sentence, EK stated that the description was poorly written, stated that her days off policy was going to interfere with her personal life / cribbage, explained the importance of her being in her position when the kids are in the building. And then this is where I want to direct your attention to, commented that there was no employee handbook given to her at the time of the letter. So it sounds like your complaint at this time was that you were given an employment letter, but the handbook wasn't produced at that time. Is that accurate?
Objection. I think continue reading. It clearly says that they were never given handbooks.
Where does the word never appear?
Reference that as SPI employees, we were never given handbooks when offered letters of intent or contracts.
Yeah, at that time. At the
I
time.
believe it's at any time.
Okay, well, I think the document speaks for itself, and Ms. Kutz isn't the author of it, so I can leave it at that.
No further questions for the witness.
Let me make sure. I just meant for that line of questioning.
Oh, all
very
right.
Close. If I have any more, I'm very close. No further questions.
All right. And so with that, then, I guess, attorney, your complaint at rest then?
So I'd like to reserve the right to call my client for rebuttal testimony based on the testimony offered tomorrow. I think if that were to occur, we could do it via telephone. if that, for a very limited purpose, I don't foresee any further.
Okay, I'm not asking you about rebuttal testimony or evidence. I'm just asking you whether your case in chief, you're resting with your case in chief.
Yes.
Okay, and so tomorrow, Attorney Stoffel will continue with the respondent's case. Who do you anticipate calling as a witness first tomorrow?
I think we can proceed with Ms. Brust first thing tomorrow.
Ms. Brust, and then any other witnesses for respondent besides Ms. Brust?
I anticipate Mr. Laring will testify.
Okay.
And just depending on how the day goes, perhaps Renata Hogard, but perhaps not. It really depends on how the remainder of the testimony goes.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, then let's adjourn for today. We're back on for tomorrow at 9 a.m. All right. And anything else then before I close down the?
I'm still here. Sorry, I thought we were done.
I think we are. I just want to make sure that there's no loose ends here. Anything further than before I stop the recording, Attorney Yerk?
Nothing further.
Attorney Stoffel.
I recall being informed many hours ago that the court reporting company wants to know if it's the same link or there'll be something new. But
It'll be new. It will be new, and the reason I do that is because if I don't do that, sometimes people will click on the old link, and I found that it's easier just to send out a new link for each hearing. So I will send that out as soon as we're done here.
Okay, I'll be sure to forward that as soon. Well, it's 5, just as a point of administration. I direct this to Ms. Laniello, Madam Court Reporter. My assistant, who's been in touch with your organization, I expect might be gone for the day. Are you? I don't know if this needs to be on the
record. Off the record? Can we do
it? It's okay. Can I work with you somehow? I just want to make sure you all get what you need. Are you on for tomorrow or?
I am on for tomorrow actually, so I can just give you my direct email if you want to just forward that to me.
Okay, why don't I just?
You know what? I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay.
Do you guys need a transcript of today's hearing, or are you ordering, or I'm not sure how y'all did it the first day.
I don't think we necessarily need a same day, but I anticipate. Well, I'm not sure. I don't think we need a same day.
At this point, we don't need a transcript.
Okay, and so I've got the email address for the court reporter is slreporting@yahoo.com.
Yep.
Okay, I will include that on the invitation, and then council can redistribute the invitation as needed.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Very good. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.